Welcome to week 8 of the Pathfinder Campus weekly blog series. I'm Barry Morgan, and together with Jessica Locke and Gord Sarkissian, we've developed a community that supports students beginning their career path and adults in the midst of a career transition. Our weekly blog series is designed to help provide helpful tips and guidance as you navigate a major life change, and we hope you'll allow us to join you on your journey. There's a particular moment for a lot of people when they're reading a job posting for a role they really want. They go down the list of requirements and hit something: a tool they've never used, a credential they don't have, an experience they can't quite claim, and something in them just slightly deflates. Most people see that deficiency as a barrier. I want to offer a different way to think about it. That moment, that specific awareness that something's missing, that's actually the most useful piece of career information someone can have, because you can't close a gap you haven't found. Today we're talking about skills gaps, how to identify them clearly, how to think about them strategically, and why the way most people respond to them is costing them opportunities they could actually have. A skills gap is really nothing more than the distance between the capabilities you have right now and the capabilities a role, an opportunity, or a goal requires. That's it. It's not a judgment, it's not a verdict on your potential. It's just a measurement, the space between where you are and where you want to be. These skills gaps come in three types, really. They're technical gaps, specific tools or systems or knowledge areas you haven't quite developed yet. There are experience gaps, situations or environments that you haven't been in before. And there's credential gaps, formal requirements like certifications or degrees that a role might list. Not all three are equally important. They don't all close in the same way. Here's something that's worth knowing. Most job postings describe an ideal candidate, not the required candidate. Research consistently shows that employers make offers to candidates who meet 60 to 70% of the listed criteria. The gap you're looking at may be smaller than you think, and even easier to close than you're allowing yourself to believe. The cost to your career of not knowing your skills gaps isn't just missed opportunities, it's also misallocated effort. People who don't know their gaps tend to develop broadly, investing in skills that they feel are interesting or impressive, rather than skills that actually move them closer to their target. They end up more generally competent, but no closer to the specific roles they want. On the other side, people who know their gaps precisely can develop strategically. They invest in exactly what's needed, in the right order, and with a clear connection to a real opportunity. When you have that kind of focus, it changes how fast you can move and how much of your development effort actually pays off. Knowing your gaps also changes how you can show up in career conversations. Instead of vaguely hoping you're qualified, you can make a clear case for where you are and what you're actively doing about areas you need to improve. The biggest trap around skills gaps is treating all of them equally. Someone looks at a job posting, counts 5 requirements they don't have, and concludes they're not qualified. But those 5 things are not all the same. One might be a credential you could earn in 6 weeks. One might be an experience you can demonstrate through equivalent work. One might be a genuinely critical requirement, and one might be simply a preference the employer listed just in case, not actually something they really care about or need. The other trap is emotional, treating a skill gap like a personal flaw. It's not. Every single person who holds a role you want had to close the same gap at some point to get there. The gap is normal. What matters is how you respond to it, what you do to close that gap. Let's reframe this in a way that really works. Think of the visible gap as just another solvable problem, something you've recognized and now you can deal with. The dangerous gaps are the ones you haven't found yet, the ones that are quietly keeping you out of rooms without you ever knowing why. Here are three straightforward moves that you can use that will actually help. First, do a targeted gap analysis. Take 3 to 5 job postings for roles you genuinely want. Read them carefully. Pull out every skill or experience mentioned in those postings. Then go through that list and be honest. Do I have this skill? Partially have it? Or I genuinely don't have this skill yet at all? The pattern across multiple postings shows you what the market actually requires, not just one employer's wish list. Second, sort your gaps by type and urgency. Which gaps are critical versus optional? Which ones can be closed quickly through a short course, a project, a volunteer role? Which ones require a longer investment? Prioritize the gaps that appear most often across postings and identify ones that you could realistically close in 90 days. Third, close the gap on paper first. Before you can close the gap on your resume, you need to be able to clearly understand how you're going to deal with it. What are you doing to start closing this gap? Starting now. Employers don't always need you to have a fully developed skill, but they need to know you are aware of skills that you still need to work on and that you're already doing something to improve them deliberately. The people who move fastest in a job search are usually not the most qualified. They're the most intentional. The skills gap you see is already half closed. Awareness is the first and hardest step. Most people either don't look or they look and then they let what they find stop them. You're not going to do that. This week, check out Tuesday's deep dive article. It walks through how to run a thorough gap analysis and how to prioritize what you find. On Wednesday at 7, the Pathfinder community will be meeting in the community meeting room on our website to discuss this week's topic. There's also a hands-on exercise which will be posted on Thursday to help you map your actual gaps against the real target role. And then on Saturday, we'll post a reflection piece that talks about why skills gaps feel so personal and what to do with that feeling. You're closer than you think. Let's find out exactly how close, and remember, you don't have to go this journey alone. The coaches at Pathfinder Campus are available to help make this journey a little easier. Reach out to us and talk. We're looking forward to hearing from you.